Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku, and it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
We off?
30 seconds of carefree bliss.
Oof, like wind in your hair carefree.
Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree.
Yes.
Like dog slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox Carefree.
He's on a roll now.
Spit toothpaste on the faucet.
You got it. You got it.
Peanut butter on the light switch.
Oh, spritz, spritz.
Spritz, spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good.
Okay, we're back.
Use as directed.
Welcome to Speak. I'm Joy Taylor, joined by two legends, Super Bowl champion Keyshawn Johnson, NBA Finals MVP Paul Pierce.
What up?
Happy Monday. The Thunder tied up the NBA Finals, and two new champions were crowned at Roland Garros. Plenty of folks feeling good today, but who's walking around like the man on Monday, Keyshawn?
Oh, how about the woman on Monday, the female on Monday, and Coco Gauff, first American woman to win the French Open since Serena Williams did it back in 2015. It's her second Grand Slam title. The other one was the U.S. Open, and I was fired up to watch her because I turned my head and it was all tied up, knotted up, and then all of a sudden she started celebrating, and I'm like, oh, damn, she won. And then I saw her go to her family and everything. It was a beautiful sight.
Yes, congrats to Coco. Definitely walking around like the woman on Monday. Paul, who you got?
Well, I'm going to keep it in the French Open with the men because I saw a fantastic match. Carlos Alvarez, he was down 2 sets. The match took 5 hours and 30 minutes. Talk about being out there all day. But he persevered. 5th career major. He's only 22. Man, this dude is going to be good for a very long time. Hey, listen to this. He was previously 0-8 in matches where he was down the first 2 sets. So this was one of those classic sports moments.
Big moment, man. Big moment.
He walking around like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? All
right, well, I will talk about the NBA Finals, and my man on Monday is Alex Caruso. He's had plenty of big moments, but he had 20 points off the bench and tied his career playoff high, 6 for 11 from the field, 4 for 8 from 3, had a big night assisting the Oklahoma City Thunder in their big game to win. So Alex Caruso is walking around head high this Monday. But the NFL season, it is going to kick off in just, you gotta slide. In 87, yeah, there we go. 87 days. That's cute, right?
Well, I was,
Plenty of teams are looking to take the Chiefs' AFC crown that they've held for 5 of the last 6 seasons. The Bills are tied with the Ravens for the best odds to win the AFC, but Buffalo has run into a contract dispute with running back James Cook, who rushed for over 1,000 yards for his second straight season and scored 16 touchdowns last season. Cook is in the final year of his rookie deal, and he hasn't reported for OTAs and isn't expected to show up for mandatory minicamp tomorrow. Earlier this offseason, Bills GM Brandon Beane spoke about his intention to keep Cook in Buffalo. Let's take a listen.
James is a beautiful man. Like he really is. I love him. He's a great dude. He doesn't say a lot other than his one word things he was doing this year. But I love James. James speaks from the heart. He means well. I want James here, hopefully for like a lot of guys. The business is the business. Would I prefer we don't take the business outside? Yes, I think that's always the best way to handle it. But James is a grown man, and he'll handle it the way he does. It doesn't change my view of him, and just because we're not on the same page today doesn't mean we wouldn't be tomorrow, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years. Like, we'll see.
All right, maybe some trouble in Buffalo. How much trouble, though, Key, will this holdout cause for the Bills?
You know what? I don't think first of all, they don't play football when it starts to count until September.
87 days.
So you got 87 days, right? You got Travis Kelce's number. I'm not worried about it at all, but they need him in the worst way when the season starts. Mm-hmm. I mean, he accounted for 16 touchdowns at over 1,000 yards last year, and so when you think about who he is as a player, he's very productive within Joe Brady and the Buffalo Bills system with Josh Allen at the quarterback spot. And I'm a strong believer in Brandon being the general manager. They'll get it done. They will get it done. You know, this is all jockeying for positions at the end of the day, Joy. When somebody needs you in the worst way, they play games up until the point, because there's always pressure points, and we're not at that pressure point stage yet. Mm-hmm. You know, people get all worried about contract negotiations no matter what field you in. It could be in our field, it could be in the NFL, the NBA, Major League Baseball. You start worrying about it. But you got 87 days. You got 87 days till kickoff, okay? So they got plenty of time to get the deal done if they want to have a productive, happy running back. If you play games and don't pay him, you're going to affect the entire team. And that's not what you want to do.
Paul?
Yeah.
It'll
cause trouble if he don't wind up signing. And like he said, listen, he is an important piece because, I'm Buffalo Bills and Rams all day. So I think they understand how important he's going to be to their Super Bowl aspirations, and they know that because I'm picking them actually to get to the Super Bowl, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen if you don't re-sign James Cook, one of the most productive running backs last year, had the most rushing TDs. I mean, come on, I just think, like he said, listen, they just arm wrestling right now. That's all. They just jockeying for position. Everything will get done. 3 months from now, he'll be right where he needs to be in practice, getting ready for the season to start.
What has he missed, though, so far?
Nothing yet. OTAs?
Nothing. Aaron Rodgers missed OTAs. Right. Nothing. I know, don't bat your eyes at me.
We'll get to that in a moment. We have plenty of time to discuss Aaron Rodgers.
I had to see her bat her eyes. It was
right
like fly
now,
wings.
we're talking about James Cook and the Buffalo Bills. No, this is a big deal if they don't end up figuring it out.
Yes.
He is a crucial part of what they do. He's a crucial part of the style of play that is so effective for the Buffalo Bills. And if they want to stay at the top of the league, which is where they are right now, they need him there. It's such a essential part of supporting what Josh Allen is able to do in that offense. And they know that. And this is so early in the negotiating process that I don't think there's anything to panic about, like you guys said, but he's got to be there. Like, he's crucial.
If you think about it, they've won the division, 7 straight years or whatever.
Yeah, 5, 6.
Something crazy, right? If they plan on going anywhere, they must start off with him in the lineup when they take the field on September 7th against the Baltimore Ravens. Because after the Ravens, they got the Jets, the Dolphins. They skip over. Then they got the New England Patriots. So they got three of their first 4 games in the division and 4 of their first 5 games within the conference. So you got to have that running back that's so crucial to your team. I remember a minute ago when the Dallas Cowboys wasn't going to pay Emmitt Smith and they started off 0-2. And everybody was like, oh, they 0-2. They got Emmitt back and the rest was history.
Yeah, they've won the division 5 years in a row.
5.
You have 3 division games in the first 5 games of the season. But you also want him to be there. You want him to be in the building,
yes.
Talking about it all throughout the offseason and as OTAs and training camp starts. Like, that's not good to have it looming over the team either. But that's how these negotiations go. There were some players we were talking about last year. We'll have more players this year and next year and so on and so forth because this is just a part of the business.
And they paid 3 of the players that came out in his draft that's on the team. They gave them extensions, so they're going to take care of him. He got to sit tight, Paul. He can't party yet. He just got to sit tight.
So when is it important?
It's going to get important as he gets closer to the season. I mean, look, could he miss a few weeks of training camp? Yes. Could he miss a preseason game or 2? Yes. But you don't want to get all the way up until September 7th and sign him. You want him to have some football acclimated things in training camp.
Yeah. They can't go that far. Well, the Steelers signed Aaron Rodgers to a 1-year deal worth over $13 million that could reportedly reach $19 million in incentives. According to recent reports, Rodgers wasn't the Steelers' first option. Pittsburgh reportedly wanted to keep Justin Fields and was heavily involved in the Matthew Stafford sweepstakes when it appeared he was leaving L.A. Fields chose to sign with the Jets, so the Steelers made the move for Rodgers, setting up a very interesting Week 1 matchup in New York. So, Paul, who will have the better season? Aaron Rodgers with the Steelers or Justin Fields with the Jets?
I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers. I think statistically, he'll have a better situation than Justin because, even though we looked at him, we didn't think he played great last year, he still put up almost 4,000 yards. He had 28 TDs. Mahomes only had 26 TDs throwing. So, if that's kind of saying something, Justin, he has to get acclimated to being a starter in a new system. And I know Rodgers does too, but he's been around the block a few times. I think he'll pick it up. So for me, I also think that Pittsburgh is going to have a better year, baby. It's going to be close. But I like Rodgers since he's a year removed from his Achilles surgery. He started to look a lot better late in the season. So I think Aaron Rodgers, I think he'll have a pretty good year, solid statistically. I'm not sure they'll make the playoffs, but I think he'll still put up numbers.
Better season. And you know me, Joy, I'm going to try to figure out exactly what that means. Mm-hmm. Is it statistics? Is it the wins, loss?
Whatever your heart desires, Keyshawn.
I think Aaron Rodgers will have a better passing statistical season because they'll throw the ball a little bit more than what I would believe that Aaron Glenn and company will be a little more conservative just because we got a young core, okay, rely on defense, run the football with Breece Hall, opposed to Aaron Rodgers that was brought in to push the ball all over the lot with DK Metcalf to some degree. Aaron Rodgers is not going to want to just hand the football off first, second, third down. He's just not going to want to do that. So I think Justin Fields, though, overall will have a better season. He'll have a better season than Aaron Rodgers overall.
I think that he will have a better season overall as well. I'm just looking at the statistics for
And they
Aaron
play each other
Rodgers.
week 1, too.
Week 1, it's a big matchup in New York. New York Jets, Pittsburgh Steelers. It's always, it's interesting what life throws at you.
Why you say that? What happened?
Because I'm a lifelong Steelers fan, and I will 100% be rooting for the Jets in that game.
I'm sure you'll be there.
I do plan on being there, just so you guys know as well. Just giving you a heads up, Heller, for scheduling purposes, I will be at my nephew's first game. But the Justin Fields, Aaron Rodgers thing is so interesting because Justin Fields has had such a complicated start to his NFL career, right? Mm-hmm. Like he was in Chicago, we were excited about him. He had these moments of talent, and then it became very obvious that he wasn't going to have success there. They move on from him. He goes to Pittsburgh. He has a little bit of success there before they replace him with Russell Wilson. And now Aaron Rodgers there, and there's these grand expectations are starting to boil. And I wanted to look at Aaron Rodgers' 2022 season. Because Justin Fields was in Chicago, and Aaron Rodgers in 2022 was with the Green Bay Packers, and they were 8-9 and missed the playoffs. That was his last year there.
That was the Detroit final game?
Yes, Detroit beat them in the final game, keeping them out of the playoffs, and that was sort of the start of the ascension of the Detroit Lions. Fields had a better statistical season than Rodgers that year. I'm looking at the numbers, and we were cooking Justin Fields. They won 3 games. In Chicago. Okay, people were cooking Justin Fields, and they had a tough year, 3-12. It's that's rough. That's worse than 8-9, obviously. But I'm what are the expectations for Aaron Rodgers? What is a better season? To me, I think that Justin Fields with the Jets and the Jets in general are going to look and feel better culturally. I think they're going to feel like more of a complete ascending team than they did last year. But Aaron Rodgers had all of the weapons that were with the Jets last year, and Devontae Adams. And they still went 5-12. So I'm what are the expectations supposed to be for the Pittsburgh Steelers and Aaron Rodgers? I think Justin Fields will have a better season in conclusion. I don't think that it's going to be a disaster in Pittsburgh, but I don't think that they're going to be any better than they were last year. But should Rodgers be offended that he was the Steelers' third option, Key?
No. You should be happy that he was an option. If he wanted to play football, which clearly he does want to play because he signed on to be a Steeler, he should be happy he was an option. Well, don't get caught up in they looked at so-and-so first and they really wanted so-and-so first and then they just settled on me. I mean, at 41 years old?
Yep.
You should be happy at 41 years old. You can back up the truck and pick up $13 million no matter what your season look like. And you want to play football. He should be happy in that situation.
Are you stealing my notes?
Let me see.
He should be happy someone wants him to play football.
No, I think we just got the same, we think the same for the most part, but a lot of people don't like the fact that we think the same. But I'm not going to mention any names.
Paul?
Yeah, I agree. I think, it's crazy. I'm not even sure if Pittsburgh even had him on his radar. And I'm pretty sure that Aaron didn't have Pittsburgh when he played his final game or when he flew out and saw Aaron Glenn to see what was up. He didn't have Pittsburgh on his radar.
He was hoping and praying he could stay in New York.
Yeah, he was hoping he could play and stay in New York.
I told him that before he even got on the plane, though. He just didn't listen to me.
Yeah, and he probably was holding out this long because he thought it was going to be a better situation. Maybe like Minnesota, we talked about them.
Mm-hmm.
But is Minnesota a better situation than Pittsburgh? Is it really, truly a better situation than Pittsburgh?
They're coming off a 14-win season. You got Justin Jefferson, Addison over there.
DK Metcalf ain't like chopped liver.
Yeah, DK Metcalf.
And at the time, they had George Pickens, too.
Yeah. So, I don't know. His style doesn't really fit Pittsburgh for me. Just the way he plays. I thought he would have been more suited for Minnesota. And so he should actually, like y'all said, he definitely should be happy that somebody won because it was coming down to the nitty-gritty, and Pittsburgh was the only team that wanted him. But I think they got backed in that position when the quarterbacks that Pittsburgh wanted didn't want them.
Well, they first of all, Matthew Stafford wasn't going anywhere.
Right.
Period. He wasn't leaving Southern California to go freeze in Pittsburgh. Not a chance.
I'm kind of relieved to hear this because I've always felt like I'm crazy. Like, how could this even be the option that the Steelers are going with? But this report actually makes me feel like, okay, good. Like, at least they know. Like, there were some other options out there. Like, Matthew Stafford is a great sweepstakes to try and be in, even if he was doing it for leverage and was going to end up staying. And Justin Fields should have been the number one option if Matthew Stafford wasn't
But they
available.
shouldn't have never, ever said that. Well, first of all, they should have never benched him.
Justin Fields.
Because when you bench me at 4-2, Joy, I ain't got nothing for you. I don't give a damn if you put me back in and we go win the Super Bowl. I ain't got nothing for you. Because I was doing fine. We were good.
Right.
You came to me and said, come sit over here with me for a little bit. And you put Russell Wilson in, and it got us nowhere.
I mean, there are risks, yeah. And they took it, and
so
that's
you
how it played
expect,
out.
you just thought that money was going to solve the problems between you and I that you created by sitting me down. No, so Justin Fields said, you know what, I don't want y'all money, never mind, I'm gonna go to New York. And that's what happened.
I get, and that's why everyone is excited about the future that New York has. I'm just relieved that at least I'm not crazy, and it's always great to get that
depending
news.
on who you ask.
I definitely am. I definitely am crazy. But I'm not crazy about this. Like this, because I'm sitting here like this cannot be the only option that the Steelers had on the table. Like, this can't be what they wanted. So it's comforting at least that.
But in the end, this is what they needed to put out.
This is a Band-Aid
they were
for the
never
situation.
going to get Matthew Stafford.
No, they weren't.
Wasn't going to happen.
They weren't.
So
but
you
they
had to say
might have
something.
been able to convince Justin Fields.
You benched me.
I
didn't get hurt.
I get
Nothing
it.
was wrong with me. You're not
it.
convincing me.
I get it. And now he is the guy in New York, and it's all worked out for them. Coming up, the Thunder dominated the Pacers in Game 2. We'll tell you if we still see a path for Indiana to win the series. That's next on Speak. And don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on Sirius XM.
Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
Miami Legends football camp went down yesterday in Coral Gables. You know, our guy Michael Irvin was there sharing his wisdom with the high school players and JUCO players in attendance. Speak up, playmaker.
Every last one of them, I beat them all. They can all outrun me,
but I outringed them. They can all outrun me, but I outringed all of them. Ring-a-ding-a-ling. I got them all. I got rings and things. Those got championships. All that. Rings and things. I didn't win a ring. I won rings. Yes. And I didn't win on one level, on all of us.
It's a long flight.
His back is killing him, though.
Said I outringed them.
Ring
How does he come up with this
Ring-a-ling.
stuff?
Wait, let's see, Michael.
So good.
That was great. Rings and things.
Rings and things.
Key, you think that advice from Playmaker helped the kids get it together?
Yeah, I think, so they'll, look, if, as they say, one person listens and they get, that's all, you delivered the message. It's just one. All it takes is one. But right. Look how he walking, man, his back is stiff. Look at him.
Because he's flying all over the country.
Look at him.
Well, they have good rehab facilities there in Miami, so.
All that screaming and hollering and stuff. I hope they win a national title.
Hey, that inspired me.
Amazing. Let's talk about the NBA Finals. The Thunder evened the series last night, dominant fashion, taking an 18-point lead into halftime and cruising to a 16-point win. Shea led the way with 34 points, and the Thunder got big bench contributions from Alex Caruso and Aaron Wiggins. Despite losing Game 1, OKC has led this series for 91 minutes and 23 seconds of the 96 total minutes in the first 2 games. So, Paul, did the Thunder retake control of the finals last night?
Ooh, good question. No, I don't think they took control of the finals, but check this out. When the Pacers got on that plane last night after losing by 16 and they landed, they go to practice today, they like, we did it, guys. We did our job. We went into OKC and we stole one. That was the message all along, because when I've been on teams and we go on the road for any rounds, we like, we got to get one. So mission accomplished. They feeling good. Now, the pressure's on the Thunder because Indiana got home court advantage, and I don't care where they played in the Western Conference on the road all year, and I know Denver's a tough place to play, but it ain't going to be like the Indiana crowd. Let me tell you, that Indiana crowd, I had number of opportunities to play in that building, and that's a special place to play basketball because, it ain't nothing really to do in Indiana. So everybody, they just go to the Indiana Pacers games.
Steak and shake.
You said it was a great place to play, then you went ahead and just threw them a zinger.
They got a steak and shake, and that's it. And then they go to the game.
I like Steak and Shake, though.
Yeah, they go to the game.
Right on the corner.
Right there on the corner. That's where they all congregate. It's like the club out there. and they go to the games. That's That's the 2 things they do in Indiana. So, that crowd going to be hyped.
And that one steakhouse with the over...
Oh, no, and they got the little burger place.
Samuel's?
The overhyped cocktail sauce.
The good steak.
Yeah, come on.
The steak spot's pretty
good.
What
is it?
Steak Elmo's. St. Elmo's.
St. Elmo's.
They got more horseradish in the damn cocktail sauce than anything. That's all. I can do it right at home, Joy, and bring you some.
I've never been.
That's what I'll tell you. The crowd in Indiana, this is like religion down there, though. It really is like going to church.
Yep.
They can't wait for this. So pressure's all on the Thunder. Indiana, y'all get ready because Steak and Shake sales is about to be up this Wednesday. They're going to crowd in there and then go to the game.
You're so wrong, man.
Rick, what do you think? Did they take control?
No. It's funny to me how we are is OKC winning yet? Are they winning yet? Are they not yet? We've only had 2 teams in the history of the NBA go on the road and win the first 2 games. The 93 Chicago Bulls and the 95 Houston Rockets. And while they were both the lower seed in those series, they were also defending champions. They were nothing like the Indiana Pacers. So the fact that the Indiana Pacers, who were, if not the underdog in Milwaukee, certainly people saw that series as potentially going either way. They were not supposed to beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. They were not supposed to beat the New York Knicks outside of what Paul Pierce thought. And so they went and got one from OKC and now have home court advantage. And I still think they haven't played their best basketball. I think they have the capability of playing much better than they have in the first 2 games. And obviously they're going to have to. Primarily because they've got to take care. I don't know what the hell.
Take better care of the ball.
I'm so shook struck by the idea that OKC is supposed to be the dominant team, and now we're trying to put them back in that place. The Pacers have changed my mind as far as I thought this was going to be a more competitive series than most people thought, and now I think that even more so.
Yeah, I think it's going to be competitive, but they did, in fact, take control again. Even though home court, based on having the score even, kind of goes to Indy, but that's okay. I mean, when you think about what the OKC, they had a few more days of rest, okay? So Indy was kind of coming off of playing, so they was already kind of hot, and you know when teams rest up, they come out that first game kind of stale and not necessarily motivated. The second game, like I picked on Friday before we left, is that they were going to handle business against Indy, and that's what they did. They took care of business. So now you say, okay, they go into Indy, what will it be? OKC's not going to all of a sudden go back to game one. They're not going to do that. They're just not. And I know how the crowd is for the Pacers, and I know how the stadium is and all of those sort of things, but they are the better team for a reason. And you say, well, we started off hyping them up. Now we back to that again. No, we're not necessarily back to it. They was minus 700 before game one. Now they're minus 550 to win it all. So, you know, it dipped a little bit.
A little bit.
It dipped a little bit, but they still are in control based on the odds maker.
But here's the thing, Key. They lost game one to Denver, and then they blew Denver out in game two.
Okay.
They didn't have control over that series.
Yeah, but they're playing, and Denver's jokers like somewhere hanging out.
Yeah. But if we're going to go based on what happened in game two, the blowout in game two means that OKC.
Well, it's not really a blowout
control.
for me. It's really about win. It's about the win. I don't care that they won by 16. I just care that they won.
Okay, but it's still 1-1, and Indiana has home court.
I understand.
advantage.
I understand that, but Indiana.
I don't think they were ever in control of the series.
Indiana took care of business in 2 straight games on the Knicks floor.
Yeah.
So that showed me that they was probably going to beat the Knicks. The fact that they couldn't do that in OKC tells me they don't have what it takes to finish the deal.
Or maybe OKC's just a little bit better than New York.
I think
New York didn't win 68 games.
Okay, so OKC's a little bit better than New York.
And New York is not in the finals.
Okay, OKC is better than New York. That doesn't mean that they're necessarily better than Indiana.
Now. I expected them to win that game as well. Yeah, I thought that the Thunder were going to respond to the Pacers stealing game one. They are a really, really good team. They have an MVP. They have a great bench. Obviously, you know, Caruso having a game like that is not surprising. But now you're going on the road. So the Pacers, either the Pacers are still in control or it's neutral to me now. But I don't think that the Thunder are in control because now you're going to Indiana. The crowd is going to be insane. It's going to be a big test for them because both of these teams are, as we know, very young teams. And this is the first time that they as a whole, as groups, are in this position to be in the finals, and they stole that game. So I agree with Rick. I don't think the Pacers have played their best. They certainly didn't play well in game one because that was a disaster when we're talking about turnovers. They just managed to cut it down in the second half. And even in game two, I mean, Tyrese Halliburton hasn't had a big statistical game yet in the finals. He had 3 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists in the first half. So we haven't even seen him.
Could that be because the defensive matchup?
The Thunder are a great defensive team. Yeah. But if he is able to have a big offensive game, what does that game between the Thunder and Pacers actually look like? Because we haven't seen it yet. So I think it's neutral at best or the Pacers. What's going on over here? It's the art project.
I always feel like this is an art project.
What are you doing?
This is art class for me.
4 and 3. What's 7?
4 and 3.
What are you doing?
That's OKC's record on the road in these playoffs.
Oh.
Okay.
Not formidable or dominant on the road by any stretch.
So we gave our series predictions before game one. Paul had Pacers in 7. I had Thunder in 7. He had Thunder in 5. After the Pacers shocked the Thunder to take game one, Paul switched to Pacers in 6, and Key switched to Thunder in 6. Rick, what you had?
I had Thunder in 6.
Thunder in 6. Okay. So is
I'm going
sticking?
to Thunder in 7, but I would not be shocked if the Pacers.
You can't hedge your bet. You gotta.
I am hedging my bet.
No, you can't do that.
Are you kidding me?
You can't do that.
What do you mean I can't do that?
No.
I am.
we're giving you the opportunity now. The door is open to change your pick. Are you willing? Are you willing to step out? Okay, and change your pick, Rick.
No, I'm still going Thunder and
What
7.
say you?
I'm going Thunder and 7. I'm changing,
Right.
but
Thunder
I'm
and 7.
changing.
I'm staying with mine, Thunder and 7.
So you think the Thunder gonna win? You did all that about 3 minutes ago to come back to this. That's unbelievable.
What are you changing your? You're sticking with your
Just trying
pick?
to move
Yeah,
your needle,
I'm at
Keith.
6. I'm gonna stay at 6.
Thunder and 6.
Yeah, because they lost 1. I had them in 5, but when they lose the 1, I got to give myself a little cushion because I don't think they're gonna win 4 in a row.
Paul?
Yeah, I'm staying in 6, and even after this last loss, I'm still convinced. Like Indiana, like I'm looking at it, they've outscored the Thunder in both second halves of both games 1 and 2. If they could just get off to a better start,
Well,
like in both games they scored 20 points in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And in both games they went over 30 in the third and fourth quarter in both games, and in both games in the first and second quarter under 30.
Yeah, the second quarter's
Like they gotta get off to better starts, and we're gonna talk about Halliburton needs to step up. No.
You know what?
This is a collective.
Forget it. Pacers in 6.
There we go. Hey, you part of the meetings now. You know what I'm saying? You part
Saturday
of the meetings.
morning, 10 a.m.
We got the rabbit feet.
You've
We
joined
got
the
all
call.
that. We got all. You part of the meetings,
The
right?
Pacers.
Pacers.
Oh, is this it?
No,
Pacers.
Pacer Colt
Pacers
gang.
in 6.
Oh, this is Pacer Colt gang. Yeah. Pacers and Colts.
That's what they do in the
Indiana.
halftime.
I ain't going that far. Steak and shake.
Steak and shake.
right on the corner,
Yeah,
though, Rick.
yeah.
St.
Coming up,
Elmo's.
CJ Stroud's Texans keep adding pieces, reportedly signing Nick Chubb yesterday. But is it enough for Houston to make a Super Bowl run? We'll discuss that next on Speak.
This episode is brought to you by LinkedIn. Healthcare professionals can lead their careers with LinkedIn. Discover jobs by specialty, preferred shifts, and even desired salary. From mental health therapists to radiology technicians, it's now faster and easier for healthcare professionals to find the right fit. Learn more at linkedin.com/healthcare. Side effects may include faster job placement, improved work-life balance, and increased career satisfaction.
John Harbaugh and the Ravens had John Gruden come by their OTA practices to give their team some additional insight. Harbaugh spoke glowingly of Key's former coach. Speak up, John.
I hate y'all.
Had Coach Gruden here, and for 2 days working with us, and we just had so much respect for him over the years. He loves football, he's a great football coach, great football mind. He watched our offensive guys, he talked to our offensive guys, looked at all the players, had something for each player. Just phenomenal and very, very detailed. Great teacher, too.
What is it? 42Y banana? What is it? Spider 2Y banana? Is that the play? Key?
Play, Key.
Are you asking me?
What's the play? What's the banana play?
I don't, to be honest with you, I don't know. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Spider 2Y banana. Yeah, that's the famous, Or you could go 136X return. It's the same
That's
play.
not as fun. That's boring.
I mean, it's the same thing. But anyway, what do you want to ask me? Because I know you want to ask me something.
Did you get the same feeling from Gruden during your time in Tampa?
That what? That he was a great football mind?
That what?
That he was a great football mind?
What was said?
Is that what you want me to say?
He loves football, great football coach, great football minds. Had something for each player.
Do I believe that he's a
very detailed, great teacher?
Do I believe that he loves football? Absolutely, I believe he loves football.
I think so too, because you gave me $100 million. You ain't gonna hear from me no more. Run me $100 million, y'all don't have to hear my voice again.
I don't know if he picked it all up, because remember he got fired and he had the whole situation with the league.
Run me $70 million, y'all don't have to hear from me
Whatever it was,
no more.
run it, yeah, run it, whatever it is.
Like, I can't stand
But
Sign me $70 million, you will never hear from me again.
It's so interesting with coaches, because they just like to be around the game and coach. I mean, I don't think the same way about John as many people do.
How do you feel?
In terms of, no, I'm not personal, just the way they view him as this great X and O, just this great teacher, and I don't view it that way. I'm sorry, I just don't.
You played for him. You won a Super Bowl for him.
I don't view it that way. I'm sorry. I just don't. Paul, I don't. I'm keeping it a buck. I just don't.
How you gonna explain this right here?
I don't care about that. Was after put up them numbers. Put up them numbers after that game, and I'm smiling. I'm just saying.
How you gonna explain this?
I ain't shading him. I just don't. you know, the coaching fraternity views it
Smile
differently.
is diabolical.
How's the kids, Coach?
In that picture. Like,
checking all the kids.
See, I would curse both of you out right now. You know, I would curse both of you out right now if I didn't get in trouble. And I'm like hard cursing, like mad cursing. You know, that was after I worked him, though. I really worked him and his team that point. So, you know, no, we're not going there, Paul.
Work. The Texans will reportedly be getting quarterback C.J. Stroud, another offensive weapon this offseason. The Texans are expected to sign running back Nick Chubb to a one-year deal to pair him with Joe Mixon in the backfield. Defensive back C.J. Gardner-Johnson also signed with the Texans this offseason after winning the Super Bowl and talked about his high expectations with his new team. Take a listen.
I mean, these guys play a lot of good ball here, but I don't think they understand what it means to win when it matters. I'm not taking discrediting the team. I'm just saying I've been in a lot of situations where from Detroit to New Orleans to Philly, you got to win where it matters. I got 3 more championships in me. I'm gonna be honest with you, I got 3 more. I'm probably gonna win the next 3 years. That's how I'm feeling.
Lots of championships left. How close are the Texans to a Super Bowl run, though, Key?
They're very close. They're right. They're there. They just need some things to turn their way. They're in a division where they should dominate that division with Jacksonville, Indy, and Tennessee. Indy got to figure out their quarterback situation. Anthony Richardson, obviously, we know what's going on with him. Now, all of a sudden, there's another injury in this situation with him. Then Tennessee's got to figure out their quarterback, and we have no idea what Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to be able to do this year. But we do know that Stroud and the Tennessee Titans continue to get better every single year. I mean, they just do. And they won that division 2 years in a row now with him at the quarterback spot, and I could make it 3. So they're close, depending on, are they going to win 13 games this year, Joy? And then all of a sudden they find themselves in home field advantage throughout the playoffs? Because that's what it's going to take. Coming in at the 4th seed and thinking you're going on the road to victory, that's probably not going to happen for you within this conference.
I don't know, Key. It's kind of tough. I mean, unless they, defensively, they're close, but offensively, they're not there for me yet to put them in that category. So when we start talking about teams that we say can win a Super Bowl, they're not in that group yet. So when we start talking about Buffaloes and Kansas City and Baltimore.
They beat Buffalo last year.
That was the only playoff team they beat, too. They 1-5 against playoff teams. You got to show me you got to be more competitive against playoff teams. And, they're coached well. You got a franchise quarterback, but...
They got Collins. They got Joe Mixon.
Yep.
They picking up Chubb to give Joe Nixon a little breather here and there. They picked up Kristen Kirk.
They need all of that. So they may be close, but they got to show me. I can't just put them in that category and say they're going to be
Schultz at the tight end.
Yeah, they got to show it, though. They're not in that group yet of them teams I'm talking about.
I think they're close. They're going to win the division. So
they should win the division.
They should win the division for 3 years in a row. They've had 2 back-to-back 10-7 seasons. But that division is, you already explained it. So they should win the division, which means they'll be in the dance.
Yeah.
And that, I think, has to make them a contender. The rushing offense last year, 25th ranked rushing offense, that's not gonna work. But they're making strides to help, assist with that. I think it's a great signing. And they do continue to try and give C.J. Stroud weapons and improve on the roster, which I think is important. So them being there knocking on the door year after year, eventually you might just break through. And that's why I think they're in a position to do that. We'll see how it goes this season and how they improve. But when you're talking about a team that is for sure going to be in the playoffs because you just look around the division and they don't have any competition there, I think you have to consider them.
One of the biggest problems for me with them is similar to Miami. You are inside of a dome. You are in a warm climate, right? Whether they open up the dome or not, you're in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
When you got to now go on the road to these Cincinnatis, these Baltimores, these Buffaloes, potentially the New York Jets, Kansas Cities with this weather, and you have to travel, that's been their problem. If you look, every time that they lost, they going on the road, messing around, whether it was Baltimore, Kansas City, they can't afford that. That's why I say 13, 14 wins, I would assume, can get them home field advantage throughout the playoffs. That's what they have to keep their eye on.
Yeah.
I don't see it, though.
They also have to stay healthy. Health has been an issue for them as well. The 49ers signed their quarterback to a massive extension this offseason that will earn Brock Purdy $53 million a year. Despite the big money deal, Purdy said that he and head coach Kyle Shanahan still have a, quote, chip on our shoulder and are, quote, trying to prove ourselves every single day. Chip on the shoulder, guys. So, do you like Brock Purdy's chip on the shoulder approach, Keyshawn?
I like it. I mean, he's not satisfied with just the money. Mm-hmm. He knows he has something to prove. And everybody says, well, last year was a prove-it year. Well, it's not really. Last year was not a prove-it year. This year's a prove-it year because last year you had your hiccups when players were hurt. You got the money now. Now everybody wants to see you capitalize this year. You got the money, so you're not worried about that. Mm-hmm. They're not benching you. They're not playing games with you. You know what your roster's going to look like. Can you finally get them over the hump and get back to that Super Bowl? Because it's Super Bowl bust for San Francisco, regardless of what anybody says. Super Bowl bust. Anytime you paying a quarterback the type of money that they paid him, because think about it, he's in the same breath as Josh Allen, Super Bowl bust. Okay, same breath as Joe Burrow, Super Bowl bust. Mm-hmm. Same breath as Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, all those guys are Super Bowl bust. He falls right in line based on the money that they gave him. And so I like it. You know, I like it. They got a pretty easy schedule in their first 5 or 6 games. So, you know, when you think about Seattle, they should be able to clap them. New Orleans, they should be able to clap them and keep it moving. You know, Arizona, same thing. No, not that.
No, no one. I know what you're saying.
The Rams. I'm talking Paul, not you.
What?
The Rams at Tampa's a tough one. In Atlanta, going to them.
What's wrong with your friend?
Oh no, that's I don't know. I don't know what Key showed up today.
Man, stop, man.
Man.
Not that one.
But look, he say all the right things. He say all the right things. I'm talking about Purdy. Listen, I'd have been around professional sports for so long, and when guys sign for that new money or that first big contract, I done heard everybody say all the right things. But the one thing you find out who a player is when they get the money. That's when you really find out a lot about them. Because some people get that payday, and then the work go away. You know, they don't never improve. When you playing undervalued, you good, you great. Oh, he's so good. But then when you get that money and you don't play up to your value, they're like, what happened to him? Like, it's like, where'd he go? Did he stop? So I'm going to be interested to see how he bounced back because he's been playing at a value, went to the Super Bowl. Can he do it now with that $52 million hanging over your head?
Target on his back?
Yeah.
They got the easiest strength of schedule, too.
Do they?
Yeah,
yeah. Let me see.
I mean, I definitely think he has something to prove, so I like that he is saying this. He's saying all the right things, because now he's dealing with a different kind of pressure. Right. There's the pressure of proving that you belong in the league. You were Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick in the draft. So you've been through that kind of pressure. Right. Then the expectations change because you have success, so it's the pressure of maintaining that and obviously trying to get paid, which he has never done. But now you're paid. So the Mr. Irrelevant thing, no one cares about that anymore. That's past. That was an old life. Now you're a certified, highly paid starter in the league.
You got that new life.
You got a new life, a great life. A fabulous life that he earned. But now it's a different kind of pressure. We don't hear nothing about what happened last year, nothing about where you were drafted, and that's why, like, you've been paid, and now you're the starter of the San Francisco 49ers, and the expectations are as such. So I like that he's saying that, because you're absolutely right. We see players get paid all the time, and we're like, dang, what happened to him?
He don't strike me as that, though.
I don't think so either.
Because where he came from.
Yeah.
It's like if you had to put ghetto on a quarterback, he came from the bottom of the bottom.
That's the coaching, though.
Yeah.
What? What'd you say?
I mean, he got picked in ghetto numbers. Like the last pick, that's like the bottom. You the bottom.
The bottom?
The bottom.
From the east side?
From the east side. He over here. He came from way east LA. Like,
he got it out the mud?
Man, he got it out the mud.
Have you been on the east side lately?
Man, I don't go on the east side. He was out there in like Left Rack City, Queens projects.
East St. Louis.
Man,
Moving on up. Coming up, there's only 2 teams left in the NBA playoffs. Will Paul let them both in the VIP at the Truth Lounge, though? Stick around to find out next.
All right, let's get it.
Missing out on family time because of all the noise? Enjoy the moment without straining to keep up with the conversation.
Wow, what a beautiful sunset.
Discover Nuance Audio, the new invisible hearing solution that's built into your glasses. Discreet, comfortable, and easy to use. Nuance Audio glasses help you hear better and reduce background noise, so you can get back to enjoying time with your loved ones. Find a store near you at nuanceaudio.com.
Thunder and Pacers are tied at 1 game apiece. We're back in the Truth Lounge where only top contenders get a spot in the VIP. So, Paul, who is allowed in today?
Oh, yeah, everybody is still here. Certain players, they got to go to the bar, though. You know, like Siakam and Halliburton, y'all can hang at the bar. But the team, y'all here.
Halliburton? How's Halliburton?
I need him to step up. I need him to step up, though. You know,
you coming to. What he did in game 1?
Yeah.
So he can't get in the
VIP.
His teammates can, but he can't.
Because I expect more from him. You know, the VIP, this is the Truth Lounge, Keith. You got to step up. Come on now. This is.
The game winner.
Man, he got to do it again. He got to do it again. He been doing it all playoffs.
How do the Pacers stay in this series?
They got to, you know what? I actually love what they've been doing. I know it didn't look good last game, but SGA's going to get his. We already said, just when he come into the arena, just put 33, 34 points down. Cool. Let them they got to shut these other guys up. The bench came in and had too much work. Carlos Caruso, Wiggins came in, did their thing. You got to limit the bench. So if they benches, because I feel like the Pacers bench is a little more sustainable at really scoring every game more so than the Thunder's. I don't think Caruso's going to give you 20 every night. I don't think Wiggins is going to come out for another 18. You know, that's probably his highest scoring game of the playoffs off the bench. So I think they continue what they're doing, use their home crowd for momentum now. They got to get behind that crowd. They did their job. They went to OKC and say, look, we got to get 1 win. That's all we came here to do.
I would have liked for them, if they was going to get the 1 win, I would have liked for it to be game 2, though, opposed to 1. Because they got to, if they want to stay in this series, they're going to have to hold serve on these next 2 games. Because if they lose one of these next 2, you got to win your home games.
Yeah.
If they lose one of these next 2,
is it a wrap?
It's going to be a wrap.
Let me show you why. You know why? Because they've already won in OKC. They believe they can win in OKC. Because the last team to beat Oklahoma City in the Eastern Conference was Indiana Pacers, which was like March of last year. So they're confident in that building, even if
March of last year,
OKC hasn't lost a home game to an Eastern Conference team since March of last year, which was to the Indiana Pacers, and that was a regular season game.
And that was game 1 after they had been sitting for several days chilling.
So now they like, man, they believe. You know, just psychologically, they believe. You know, I got them in the Truth Lounge. They believe. They believe.
All right, well, you have Halliburton in this Truth Lounge, but he's at the bar.
He's at the bar right now.
Having to start a tab. Is he allowed to start a tab at least?
Yeah, he can start a tab.
Okay.
You know, first couple on the house.
What do you need to see from him?
Yeah, I just need him to get off to a better start. I think each game he kind of easing into it, and the team has been struggling in the first quarters. And so they got to play from behind. They got to somehow put pressure on OKC to where they panicking. They're playing because they're always ahead. Every game, they've only been down, like you said earlier, they've only been down like 5 minutes out of a possible 96 minutes. They got to make OKC sweat. They got to get a lead and say, hey, play from behind, okay, when you're down in points, let's put some pressure on them and let's see how they act.
He need to pick up the pace, though. He's got to pick up the pace.
Yeah, he's picking up the pace.
He can't wait and just kind of got to go. Same sort of conversation we was having about Ant-Man, right? You gotta go, man. You can't be picking.
He's a little more aggressive. He's distributing the ball well still. He's still running the offense. He's still doing all those things. But if you're the star, you're gonna have to contribute a little bit more from the scoring perspective as well, and earlier, wire to wire. Do you think that home court is going to make a difference?
Absolutely. Usually you play better at home. It's just when you look at statistics from your role players, they tend to play better at home. This is where you're comfortable at. This is where you play half your games at. This crowd, let me tell you something. This crowd is going to have an effect because OKC now, the youngest team in the league, got to go on the road in the finals. That's a different monster. I think they're not going to be the same team that they are at home. We're not going to see them getting excited after 3 years of 3. Pacers are going to come out with energy. They're going to use the crowd for momentum. And I truly believe they're going to blow out. We've seen OKC get blown out a couple of times this playoffs, right? We've seen Minnesota do it, beat them by like 30-something, and I believe, let's see, maybe another team did it, maybe not, but we see them get blown out. So they show they can have some chinks in the armor. I believe Indiana will take control of the series in Game 3. And from that point, they'll control the series. And if OKC don't win Game 4, they're gonna be building more steak and shakes in Indiana.
Pacers in 6?
Pacers in 6.
Yeah, I got the Thunder in 6.
But do you think the Pacers win Game 3? You think they're gonna?
Yeah, no, I don't. I think OKC will take advantage of them. That's what I think.
So you don't think home court's gonna matter at all?
Like I said, Game 1, they was coming off rest. So they was kind of trying to figure it out, stick their toe in the water. Then they realized they got popped. They came back in Game 2, beat them by 16 in controlling fashion, I would say.
How they have been winning games, but when they're in close games, they've not closed the deal.
That's going to be the key. They got to keep the game close. They can't let OKC go up double figures early. If they keep the game close, advantage Indiana. We've seen that all playoffs now.
Well, during the regular season, they are 29-11. The Pacers are at home, and they're 6-2 this playoffs at home. So they are playing well at home.
They play well at home. I'm telling you, that home is where the heart is. They're going to have to take advantage. This is the biggest game that Indiana has seen in 25 years.
Yeah, the crowd's going to be insane.
This is going to be.
I think it'll be a really good test for OKC.
Man,
they going to get that cocktail sauce from
St. Elmo's.
St. Elmo's. That's what they go. Steak and shake.
Steak and shake. I'm telling you, that's like the staple of the city. Look, it's the track where they do the racing.
Yeah.
And the steak and shake.
Indy car
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah, and then steak and shake. Just the two. That's where they all hang out at.
That's the Truth Lounge?
Yeah.
There's a report that Boston is listening to trade calls for Drew Holiday. So, Paul, can the Celtics sustain if Holiday is traded?
Man, Drew is one of my favorites too, man, because people don't understand what he brings. You know, I know his production was down this year in the playoffs, but it's hard to replace a guy with his type of leadership, what type of his experience, his just locker room rapport with the guys. Because I always said that when you have a championship team, you got to do the best you can to just, when you bring in guys through trades or free agent signings, you got to bring somebody that fits the mold. And so it'll be interesting to see if they do part with Drew, who's that person going to be? Because you create a culture. When you start adding new pieces to the culture and messing with all the ingredients, you know, when you're making something, you got to have the right ingredients. You can't just be, just throw this in. You got to have the right stuff. You know, like when Mama used to make that gumbo key, it got to be right. So it'll be interesting.
Don't burn the root.
Man, don't burn the root. So it'll be interesting to see, if they do make a move, who is it? Because you're going to have to look at what he brings on, off the court, locker room. All those things matter on the championship team.
Yeah, it does matter. And I think if they can get something for Drew Holiday that makes sense, Joy, they probably want to think about that. Because you got Derek White, right? He is a good complement to Tatum for 26-27. Because I don't see the Celtics doing much in 25-26 to the degree of the championship.
Well, they're not going to be fully healthy.
And then if you keep Drew Holiday, now when you get to 26-27, he's 1 year older, so now his value is going down even further.
They do have to be strategic because of the injury. So you're not going to have the same expectations next year.
Right.
It might make sense to do that.
Man,
you got to keep that in mind.
Man, you look like you
Yeah, you got to go.
Oh yeah, I got some things to do. We in the Truth Lounge.
I
got some things to do. I got to hit a couple red cards. I got some interviews. I got to promote to speak. I'm doing a promotion tour right now.
Oh, thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm clean,
R&B
baby.
rapper.
Hey, I'm clean. You know what I'm saying, baby?
Look at him, looking like a rapper.
Hold on,
Give
though.
us 100 Drew Hills.
Yeah, get the side angle. Yeah, there it is.
Little Bobby Brown action.
Yeah, I'm too cool to be embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Look, that's that swagger. That's right. All right, man, I gotta go, man.
Red carpet look
I gotta
ready.
sign off. Yo, D-Nail, open up. Let me get on out of here. I gotta catch up in my limo, y'all. Hey, good seeing y'all. I'm out of here, baby.
That's the owner of the Truth Lounge.
He looked like an owner of a Truth Lounge.
Coming up, Luka and LeBron will both be in LA for the full season next year. So who is the Lakers' leader? We'll discuss next on Speak.
Every idea starts with a problem. Warby Parker's was simple. Glasses are too expensive. So they set out to change that. By designing glasses in-house and selling directly to customers, they're able to offer prescription eyewear that's expertly crafted and unexpectedly affordable. Warby Parker glasses are made from premium materials like impact-resistant polycarbonate and custom acetate. And they start at just $95, including prescription lenses. Get glasses made from the good stuff. Stop by a Warby Parker store near you.
Rams linebacker Jared Verse finally got his workout with Aaron Donald after calling out the Super Bowl champ last week. And Verse admitted he was definitely put through the ringer. He posted on social media, quote, "I tried to test the legend in Aaron Donald, and he responded with a workout from hell. Learned my lesson. Respect, OG." Key, you think you could get through an Aaron Donald workout?
No, I'm not even supposed to try. Even when I was playing, I wouldn't have tried it because our workouts is, different. And his workout is for him, not for me,
You're not doing that?
No, I could do that. I mean, that's me doing that, but I don't know what they doing. I don't know what they doing. They doing D-line stuff, I guess. But he probably couldn't get through a receiver workout.
What was the gist of your workout?
What's a receiver workout?
A little bit different, a lot more cardio. For me, I lifted a lot too. But it's just different ways of doing on-field drills. It's just different. Like Jerry Rice built his workout for him.
Right.
Walter Payton built his workout for him. And they used to take guys and they would kilt dudes, K-I-L-T, okay? Kilt them. Because it's designed
It's not what they do. What do you
Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Donald doing too much. He coming back.
Why?
What am I doing that for?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know why anyone does those workouts that's not currently playing football.
That's what I'm saying. So he coming. I'm telling you, I'm waiting to the last minute.
I'm still trying to stay in the water.
He is holding on hope that you're coming back.
Yeah, because he's doing too much.
Yeah. He's just staying in his routine.
For what?
I'm telling you, I'm telling you, he's gonna start acting.
Yeah, but that's still he can act without that. Yeah. He can stay in shape without doing it. He's doing football.
You can cut weight without.
Yeah, come on now.
Did you design something specifically for you that got you ready?
A lot of stuff, was designed around my body type, what I was gonna be doing, football acclimated things was what we would do to get ready for training camp.
And that was your trainer?
Yeah.
And what do you do now?
Chill. That's what I do.
Barbecue.
I'm doing the straight corporate workouts now.
Just walking
on the phone, listening to y'all, doing our prep meetings, walking on the treadie.
Stretching during our meetings.
Yeah, stretching. Fake dumbbells here and there.
The Lakers set themselves up for the future with a blockbuster trade for Luka Doncic in February. LeBron has always been the focal point of his teams, but at 40 years old, he is primed to take a back seat to 26-year-old Luka. Dominic Wilkins also sees the shift in LA, saying, quote, "It's definitely Luka's team. I don't even think that's a question." So, Rick, will LeBron be okay with the Lakers being Luka's team?
He's going to have to be. This is a shift. Once the Lakers got Luka, and they knew that they were going to have to change this team to accommodate Luka, which is a little bit different than a team that accommodates LeBron. It's all forward motion at this point. So LeBron is still going to find ways to dominate the spotlight. LeBron is still going to attract the media. But as far as building the team, the Lakers have to get after it in building it around Luka, and it's going to take them a bit because they don't have a plenitude of resources, and the pieces that they currently have aren't an ideal fit for Luka. Number one, what you have to do is you have to build a defensive team around him, and at this stage, that's not what LeBron does best. So they're kind of in a holding pattern, assuming that LeBron isn't going to exercise his opt-out. If he's going to be back for another year, I have no reason to expect that he won't. If he's going to be back for another year, that's a huge chunk of your money being paid to a guy who is not necessarily, look, they did well, right? Not necessarily the ideal fit next to Luka if you're chasing a championship.
Yeah, this is Paul talked about this past basketball season for the Lakers being basically a burn year at the start of the season. Farewell, bye. I think the start of this season the start of the season prior to getting Luka, Paul thought that it would be a burn year for the Lakers, which we would all be saying bye to LeBron. I think that for 25-26, I think this is a burn year because as long as he is an active starting player on the Lakers, LeBron that is, it's going to be very difficult to surrender everything to Luka this year. He's got to be gone because naturally this is all he knows. How many years he's been in the league? 22? 22 years?
You sound so much wiser from this side of the desk.
Why?
I don't know. I don't know. But that makes that made a ton of sense.
Everything I say makes sense.
I know, but not more.
That's why I've been in this business for damn near 20 years.
I don't know when I hear it from over there. It's like there's. I got that little dog head tilt. Like,
but I do.
What?
I think this is a burn. I think it's a burn year, which, it's fine. We can give him the rocking chair and the Rolls Royces, and he can go on his farewell tour and do his whole deal. Because that's probably what I feel like that's what's going to happen.
I do think that this will end up being LeBron's last year as well, but I do think that LeBron is one of the smartest basketball players that has played the game. And he's been through this kind of shifts in Miami. Like, we know the notorious story of the first time that they were together, the big three, and Wade made the switch to it being LeBron's team. And obviously, this is not exactly that same type of situation. The Lakers as a team are not built exactly the way that Miami team was built. And I'm also not saying that that's automatically going to put the Lakers in a space to go to the NBA Finals. But what I am saying is LeBron is aware of how and what that looks like. He's been through that at one point in his career. And he's not delusional. Like, he knows when he's going to stop playing. So the best way for them to be competitive and successful this year is to make do with what they have in this roster, which obviously isn't built entirely around Luka, and to put Luka in a space where he's starting to step into that role. So I think he will be okay with it.
No, he'll be okay with it. He doesn't have a problem with it, Joy. It's just his natural instincts, reactions to his 21 years of playing basketball and being the number one guy.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to not want to take the last shot. It's going to be hard to not want to do certain things that he's done his entire career. You're asking somebody, just think about just your own life, things that you've done routine-wise, and then also somebody asks you to change.
Yeah.
You know how the
Well, it's not so
get?
much about changing. It's about adjustments for success.
That is a change for him.
Right, but change is so aggressive. Like,
Okay,
it's
so
not like he's not changing everything
less
about his
aggressive,
game.
an adjustment. When have you ever seen LeBron make an adjustment?
Well, I think he did. I think he made an adjustment with Miami because
How
he
so?
deferred to LeBron. He deferred to Dwayne Wade when he first came to Miami.
Initially.
And then when that conversation.
But Dwayne Wade, you bring up a good point, because my question is he going to be as gracious as Dwayne Wade was when Dwayne said, LeBron, I need you to take over? Like, I think it's much easier to step into someone saying, here's the keys to the car, rather than having driven the car all this time.
The whole time.
And I mean, the whole time.
The whole time, except for one time in Miami that he decided to sit in the back seat for a hot second.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he has done it.
Yeah, but it wasn't really. He got there and he didn't have a driver in place, and so he just got in the car with the
Yeah,
Wade.
but he's a different player now. He's at a different phase in his career.
He is. But I think it could be hard to accept I'm the secondary guy here. You do it. Now, I would say to a certain extent, he did that this year. But I don't know how comfortable, and it was still, we were in transition. Like, if they go full bore, this is Luka's team. We're doing everything to accommodate Luka. That's going to be a brand new set of clothes for LeBron James.
It's going to be very difficult. Think about it, Joy and Rick. How many superstar players at this level, not even because LeBron's at a different level, but superstar players that decide at the end of their careers, Joyce. No, they don't do
without
that.
some subsequent.
Yes.
Like Jason Kidd. Jason Kidd came into Dallas, but he was he was older. But it was Dirk's team.
It was Dirk's team. He was older. He had already gone with the Nets, gone to finals things. So it was like it was totally different.
There's some guys who can't. Allen Iverson could not do it when he went to Memphis. I can't be that kind of player. I would rather retire than be that kind of player.
Now, LeBron ain't gonna be running up and down the court taking 12 shots a game. That's not gonna happen. He's just not gonna do that.
I think he's gonna be conscious of his numbers, because you know what's gonna happen. If his numbers drop off,
he's not the
people
same.
are
He's
gonna start.
old. He's not this. He's not that.
He's talking about people not having a bag, and I've scored 50 billion points, and how can I not have a? He's so defensive about how he's approached.
And I'm okay with this being a burn year for the Lakers. if that's what we decide to do. If we decide that we're going to try to build, what?
I'm so glad you're okay with it.
I'm okay
I was
with that.
worried. I was
I'm okay with
thinking,
that.
you know what? If Key is not okay with this being a burn year, we were going to have problems.
I'm okay with it being a burn year if we are making a transition to Luka.
Well,
but let's not sit there and play games and be talking about we getting ready to win a championship and not make the transition to Luka.
Okay, well, I'm going to remember that halfway through the season when you guys win 5 games in a row and we come out here and
then we're going to look good.
Write that down.
Yeah. That's going to happen. Coming up, we'll check the vibes in one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. It's the AFC North. That's next on Speak. Welcome to Club Speak, where the vibes are always hard-nosed, just like football in the AFC North. So let's check the vibes for the teams in that division. We'll start with the favorites to defend their division title, the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson and company took a step back in the playoffs last year, losing in the divisional round after making it to the AFC Championship in Lamar's MVP season in 2023. So, Key, what are the vibes in Baltimore?
Let's fix everything and let's improve on last year. That's what you got to do. You got to go back to the drawing board. You fix up some things, clean up some of the mess that got you put in the situation in the playoffs, and just stay the course.
Groovin'. Not Gruden. Groovin'. Because you are the defending.
Well, Gruden was hanging out there, so you got to be very specific.
That's why I had to clarify. Look, you won the division. You had a quiet off season. You don't have any questions, right? You can't say that about any other team in the division.
You know, Gruden was also hanging out with the New Orleans Saints. How did that work out for them? But anyway, go ahead, Joy.
No shade, though.
That's why I said Groovin', not Gruden.
Groovin'. Vibes are Super Bowl or bust. It is. It's starting to get a little hot in Baltimore, I think. You know, a little global warming over there. You've done everything. You've done everything in the regular season. You've won the division multiple times. You've won MVPs. You've had great regular seasons. You've made it pretty far in the postseason. So it's starting to sort of feel like it's time.
They lost in round 1 last year, right? In the wild card.
Divisional round.
Divisional round.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's starting to heat up. Let's head to Rick's hometown, Cincinnati, Ohio. The Bengals listened to Joe Burrow signing both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to big money deals this offseason, despite missing the playoffs for the second season in a row. Last year, the Bengals have the second best odds to win the AFC North. That was written very weird. That was last year. This year, they have the second best odds. Rick.
Oh, I get to go first?
Yeah, what are the vibes?
Yay! Hoping. They are hoping that with the fewest miles traveled for their schedule, the easiest schedule among any team in the division as of right now, they're hoping that Trey Hendrickson is eventually going to be signed. They're hoping that the new additions when it comes to the defense are going to come through and upgrade them. There's a lot of hope, cautious optimism, shall we say, that the Bengals are going to be in the playoffs after missing it 2 straight years.
Yeah, they need to start off fast. The hope is start fast, not like start off slow.
Yeah.
Let's start fast so we don't put ourselves behind the sticks, okay, when the season starts. Or else we'll be saying, welcome to the set, Zach Taylor. We're so glad to have you. That's exactly what's going to happen. Well, here he is.
Yeah.
We're like, hey, Zach Taylor, we like you. We enjoy watching you coach. This is going to be a fun ride. That's what happened.
The vibes are making it to the playoffs. It is absolutely not acceptable for the Cincinnati Bengals with Joe Burrow and that roster to miss the playoffs 3 years in a row. Let's head to my hometown, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the 4-1-2, where the Steelers just signed their quarterback of the present and Aaron Rodgers. Mike Tomlin has kept a winning record and hope alive in the Steel City, and some think that Rodgers makes the Steelers Super Bowl contenders. Key, where are the vibes in Pittsburgh?
Trying to win with our quarterback. We got our quarterback now. We waited this long. We got him. So let's turn the corner and win a playoff game at least.
Vibes are pretending. Pretending that Aaron Rodgers with DK Metcalf, Calvin Austin, and Roman Wilson is a combination that is going to work, that Aaron's going to be happy with that.
The vibes are one last hurrah. We've got one more year before the Pittsburgh Steelers have to rebuild and find their quarterback, and Aaron Rodgers in his exit of his NFL career at 41 years old and will be 42 mid-season. Let's finish up with a trip to Paul Pierce's favorite city, Cleveland, Ohio. The Browns have stockpiled quarterbacks this offseason with Deshaun Watson still recovering from an Achilles injury. Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett are joined by rookies Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. Very crowded quarterback room. Rick, what are the vibes in Cleveland?
Experimenting, since we don't know exactly who their starting quarterback is going to be, and they got to go to London to play the Vikings. They play the Packers and the Lions in the first 5 weeks of the season, along with 3 division opponents. Not a good time to be experimenting.
Rick mentioned the quarterback position. They got to pick their quarterback. We got to find the guy that's going to help keep the head coach in place. Because otherwise, we'll be talking about Kevin Stefanski. Hey, Kevin.
It's going to be a crowded place.
I mean, that's usually what happens, right? You get fired, and then you join television with us for a little bit. And then
you go back and coach.
Yeah.
My vibes are the same. We are hoping that we have found our quarterback. There's a lot of them in the room.
Which one?
If they don't find their quarterback, maybe they should be on TV because there's so many of them there. One of them has to work out. Coming up, Paul snuck out to go to the BET Awards earlier, but we're going to tell you who we think should win Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year tonight. That's next on Speak. Paul is on the red carpet right now for the BET Awards, and there are 2 sports-related awards being handed out tonight, Sportsman of the Year and Sportswoman of the Year. So, Key, who would you give Sportsman and Sportswoman of the Year to?
I'll give it to Sha'Carri, Simone Biles, and then I'll
No, you can only pick one.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give it to Sha'Carri.
Okay.
And then I'll give it to Jalen Hurts.
I have Jalen Hurts as Sportsman of the Year. I have Simone Biles as Sportswoman of the Year.
Saquon Barkley.
And Sportswoman?
And I'll go Sha'Carri.
Sha'Carri?
Yep.
That's it for us.